Karl-Anthony Towns has dropped significant weight as he prepares for his new role with the Knicks. Speaking about that new role, Cat recently discussed the difficulties he's facing with the role so far. We're going to break down all of these latest reports today. This episode is presented by FanDuel. If you're enjoying the content, please hit that subscribe button and have notifications turned on so you don't miss any new content. And now, let's get started. Towns drops weight for new role with New York. Jalen Brunson came into camp in amazing shape, and it looks like Karl-Anthony Towns has done the exact same thing. The Knicks will be playing faster this season, and you need to be well conditioned in order to play at that pace. Towns clearly understood the assignment. Shout out to NBA insider Steve Popper for giving us this following information. According to him, he said the following about Karl-Anthony Towns. Towns said that he did drop weight this summer to prepare for that time at power forward, something he'd done in Minnesota when Rudy came aboard. Now I understand. It's one thing to hear about a change. It's something else entirely to see that change. So let's take a look at that change. As you can see here, I put together how Karl-Anthony Towns looked in 2024 and how he looks this year in 2025. Both images were taken during media day during their respective years. What do you guys think? Do you guys see a difference between Karl-Anthony Towns in 2024 and now in 2025? Leave a comment below and let me know. As for me, it's all about the shoulders and his sides. Look at 2024, then back at 2025. You'll notice he's noticeably slimmer. It's not much, I'll give you that, but there's a difference. I'm glad Karl-Anthony Towns is getting into shape, and honestly, he needs to get into better shape because this season, he is going to be moving all around the court. His role is changing. He's acknowledged that. He's embraced that. But also, he has also acknowledged the difficulties that come with this new role. Shout out to Posting and Toasting for breaking down this following information for us. According to Karl-Anthony Towns, here's what he had to say on figuring out his new role on the team. According to Towns, I think for me, I've got a lot of experience playing both sides now. I'm still figuring all of this out now for this year's team. Forgive me. I'm trying to figure it out myself, where I fit in and where I can be most effective still. What I can say is I have experience playing both positions. I think it's going to be a little more, feeling more seamless. Towns continues and states the following. Usually, you walk into a game, you know you'll be the 5 today. You walk into a game, you know you'll be the 4 today. I think for me, it's going to be more of like, I could be the 5 for 4 minutes and then be the 4 for 2 minutes and then go back to the 5. So I think that's going to be a little different for me, where I'm going to be so fluid on what my position is. I'm working on just making sure I'm ready for whatever the case may be with us. What I'm learning about our team and the way we want to play. Honestly, Karl-Anthony Towns' concerns, they're valid because it sounds like he's playing a position he's never played before. It sounds like this is the first time in his entire career that he's switching so frequently from the 4 to the 5 spot, back to the 4, back to the 5. And if you've been watching preseason, you've seen that. You've seen Karl-Anthony Towns play some minutes at the 5. And then Gerson Yabusele, he's entered into the game. And then he's playing some minutes at the 5. And Cat is going back to the 4. And then they switch. Yabusele's at the 4 and Towns is at the 5. Then you see Mitchell Robinson come in. He's absolutely the 5. And whoever's left in the game, whether that be Yabusele or Towns, they are the 4 in that position. They are the 4 in that lineup. And you absolutely understand why. Because Mike Brown, he is playing the matchups, but he is also trying to understand where talent is best, where to utilize his talent in certain situations. Mike Brown, he is switching things up. He is changing things frequently. That means the defense, they don't know what to expect. But also, it means the players at times, they don't know what to expect. That's why Towns just said he needs to stay ready for whatever the team is doing for that given night. Because some nights, he's going to predominantly play the 4, but other nights, he may switch a lot more between 4 and 5. It all depends on the matchup, the team that the Knicks are going up against on that given night, and potentially the roster and team they have available against whoever they're playing. Because remember, back-to-backs, injuries, all of these things happen over the course of a season. And New York, they have to be prepared for that. And to be prepared for that, Towns, he has to be fluid with his position. Sometimes he will be the 4. Sometimes he will be the 5. But you know what? Mike Brown is always going to put him in a position where he can thrive, where he can succeed. And even recently, Mike Brown himself acknowledged that Karl-Anthony Towns, when he's playing in this way, trying to double him, that's almost impossible. But he also acknowledged Karl-Anthony Towns is still figuring out his rhythm. Shout out to Andrew Crane from the New York Post for giving us this following information. According to him, when speaking to Mike Brown about Karl-Anthony Towns, here's what Mike Brown had to say. Not only is he trying to get a rhythm, but he's trying to figure out what the hell he's supposed to do when he's at the 5 as opposed to when he's at the 4. He has trusted that Towns will find his flow eventually, that he'll move around to different spots. Brown continues here by stating, it's hard to tee off and double team or to measure up how you're going to play Towns because he's going to be all over the place at all times. What Mike Brown is saying here is exactly how I wanted to see Towns used ever since he joined New York. Remember what I said. I always wanted to see somebody man the paint, somebody be the defensive anchor inside, so that way Towns could roam. He could roam all around the court. And the best thing about Towns and his roaming ability is he can play inside and outside. He is one of the best shooting big men in the NBA today. So if he's roaming, a defender will always be on him. And that means that's one less defender maybe inside the paint or guarding somebody else at the corner or at the wing. And the Knicks, they need to take advantage of that. They need to exploit that. And that's why Towns, either playing at the top of the key or driving inside and getting that attention, being that aggressive, and then passing the ball or getting an and one. That's what we need to see Towns do. But the benefits, what he can gain as a player by playing this way, as you can see, there are so many benefits to it. You understand why Mike Brown wants to use Towns in this way. And I am here for it. If Towns needs to get into better shape, which clearly he has done, just to play this role that Mike Brown wants him to play, let's see him do it. Because I think if he's used in this way, maybe this is what it takes to get the Knicks over the hump, to get the Knicks to that next level, the NBA Finals. And shout out to channel sponsor FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, for giving us this latest information and these updated odds on who's going to win the NBA Cup tournament this season. And as you can see here, OKC is on top at plus 410. Then you have the New York Knicks at plus 550. Then the Cavaliers at plus 600. Then the Nuggets at plus 1100. But yes, the odds, they jump significantly as you go to the Nuggets and beyond. Then you have the Orlando Magic at plus 1200. And then rounding out this list is the Atlanta Hawks at plus 1400. The odds confirm what we already know. The New York Knicks will be a very good regular season team. And Karl-Anthony Towns, he is going to be a huge part of that. I think Karl-Anthony Towns this season will absolutely be an all-star once again. Jalen Brunson, he is going to be an all-star too. But you know what? It would not surprise me at all if the New York Knicks, in some way, somehow, got another all-star from this team. That's how weak the East is and how stacked, how good the Knicks are this season. This year is our year. Preseason is already proving why. And once the regular season starts, everything will start to make sense. And Karl-Anthony Towns and his new role, it is about to shut down the league in a way we have not seen before. Because Towns, he's about to be unlocked under Mike Brown and his new offense. But what about you guys? What do you think about Karl-Anthony Towns and his significant weight loss? And what about what Towns had to say about the difficulties he's facing playing his new role under Mike Brown? Let me know how you feel about that in the comment section below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans, take care of yourself, your families, and each other. Peace and love.